So I really, first off, again, thank you for being here. I really wanted to begin this presentation with a little bit of a background, kind of the history of Eastern Oregon University, and give you the opportunity to become a little bit more familiar with who we are as a public university, where we're located in the state of Oregon, and kind of what we're all about. Eastern Oregon University opened our doors in 1929, so coming up on our 100th year here in the next few years. We started as a teacher training school located in a rural region of Northeast Oregon. Since then, we've expanded our programs to become the most affordable public university in the state of Oregon. And we're regularly recognized, as you see some of the recognition on this slide, as a military-friendly gold standard university, one of the best value schools, one of the top tier online programs. We get recognized pretty regularly for the work that we do, and we're very proud of. Believe it or not, actually, fun facts, Eastern Oregon University was one of the first schools in the country to develop a distance education program. We started it in 1986. It was called an adult and distance education program. And in the early years, it actually involved mailing videotapes, videotape lessons from our faculty, mailing it through the mail to our students across the country, and has continued to evolve from there and into high quality online programs really across the world. So our goal really is to empower students, no matter where they live, to achieve the value of an education and advance their careers. So in this goal, you can see it's reflected in our mission statement there. What's really great about being one of the first schools to have a distance education program is that we've had quite a long time to get really good at what we do. In fact, all of our online students receive all the same benefits as our on-campus students, plus the flexibility, to learn on their own time, right from the comfort of their own space. So it works really well for those busy folks, those busy students. But if you have families or a job or other requirements that occupy your time, this is a great opportunity for you to continue your education with Eastern Oregon University. So let me share just a couple of benefits about being an EOU student before I introduce some of our special guests. You've heard the history, where we're from, why we're here, and what we've been able to accomplish. Let me tell you a little bit about why I think EOU is as great as it is. First, we're the lowest cost and most affordable university in the state of Oregon. This is something we really value and we're seeking to maintain. We know college is expensive, and right now in the foreseeable future, our goal is to keep that cost low. So as the lowest cost and most affordable university, that's something that was really important to our values. EOU, also another thing that's pretty great, has one of the most generous transfer policies in the state. You can actually transfer up to 135 quarter credits to Eastern Oregon University. Some stats I'll share with you that are pretty impressive, I believe. Over 86% of our transfer students have lost 0 credits when transferring to EOU. Of those that may lose credits, the average credit loss was less than 2.3 credits. There is no other school in the state of Oregon with transfer policies as generous as these. The average of 2.3 credit loss for that very small population, 100% of those credits were for non-passing courses. So a student didn't pass a course prior to that. So again, we recognize the work that students do as transfer credit and degree applicable transfer credit as well as much as we possibly can. So in addition to this, we offer a program I want to highlight briefly called Agency Sponsored Learning, an assessment of prior experiential learning, also known as APEL or ASL. And that can give you up to 45 credits for life experience and professional training that you have. So for example, let's say you've been in a management role during your career and you're interested in a business degree. I know you all are interested in psychology, so maybe that's a bad example. But APEL allows you to document your experience and your life experience there for potential credit towards your degree. It's a really neat opportunity for students to think about what they know and receive credit for their experience and their existing knowledge. It's at a rate of $50 per credit, so significantly discounted there. saving students really thousands of dollars and months of time of classes they'd have to take otherwise. So as an online student, you can study on your own schedule. We have regular deadlines, sure, yeah, just like anything else. But the difference is you get to choose when you do your work and where you do your work. And that's really important for our online students. So, and finally, something that we're most proud of is the attention and the time that we pay to support our students, the wraparound services to make sure our students are successful, not only academically, but in their own lives. We recognize that most of our online students are working adults and have other time commitments that occupy their time. So we want to make sure students are successful. In fact, we have academic advisors located at community college campuses all across the state of Oregon, who also serve the entire country. And this means if you are in Oregon or a surrounding state, you likely have an EOU advisor near you. If not, we still have academic advisors who work directly with you all the time. Our team's here to help you. So once you get started at EOU, you're assigned an enrollment counselor that Alyssa is going to speak about a little bit later, a tuition planner, a tuition and financial planner, a success coach, and eventually you meet your academic advisor. So there's this whole group and team of people that are designed to make sure you're successful and you get your questions answered and you're well taken care of throughout the entire process. All of these people are there to make sure you are ready to go and successful and ultimately completing your degree. That's the goal. So next we have a video of a special guest, Dr. Robert Butler, who will share a little bit more detail about the information on the psychology program specifically. And then afterwards, I'd like to introduce Ms. Kate Geckler as a student in the online psychology program to share some information. So here's Dr. Robert Butler.
Hi, my name is Dr. Butler, and I'd like to introduce you to the psychology program here at Eastern Oregon University. Now, we have a lot of wonderful opportunities available in the psychology program here at Eastern Oregon University. A lot of people, when they think about the field of psychology, just think about the therapy aspects to it. And that is a big part of the field of psychology. But there are many different branches of psychology. We have the clinical psychology aspects, again, that therapy aspect, but we also have developmental psychologists, social psychologists, cognitive psychologists, neuropsychologists, biopsychologists, all sorts of different psychologists out there. And so one of the big purposes of a bachelor's degree in psychology is to let you experience the breadth of the field of psychology. So our program here at Eastern Oregon will definitely give you that breadth of experience so you can learn about all these different fields of psychology. So we start off with the intro level psych courses, which go over all these different branches of psychology. Now, many of you have already had that, but after the intro courses, we have a course in writing and a course in research methods, which is something wonderful we do here at Eastern because those are essential skills no matter what branch of psychology you end up specializing in. We also have a really neat course here at Eastern called Psych 303, where you get to learn about the psychology major, where we introduce you to the breadth, more of the breadth of the field of psychology. We learn about what different jobs you can get in the field of psychology, and then we also learn how to prepare for those different jobs so you can make sure you're taking the right type of courses depending on what you'd like to do with your future. After we take those courses, we get to our 300 level courses, and the 300 level courses are where you start to get to customize your educational experience. So if you want to go on and say be a therapist like I am, you would take courses in things like developmental psychology and abnormal psychology. Where if you want to go on to be a neuroscientist, you would take courses in things like brain and behavior, right? So there are a lot of different courses available so you can specialize in and although you're specializing with those 300 level courses, you have to take 5 courses, so you're still getting more of the breadth of the field of psychology. In addition to our courses, we have a lot of different experiences you can have here. While here at Eastern, including things like the Psychology Club, where you get to do different activities where you can learn more about the field, but you can also apply what you're learning in meaningful ways in the community. And the Psychology Club is available to both on-campus students, but also our online students. In addition to that, we strongly encourage our students to do a practicum where you go out in the community and you shadow someone or work somewhere where you can gain practical experience learning more about something that you're very passionate about. So we have all those different opportunities, but circling back to our coursework, we also have a senior capstone course where you actually get to practice your research skills and apply all these different things you've been learning throughout your degree. So there are a lot of different opportunities to apply what you're learning in the classroom and not just sit in the classroom and learn. In addition to those in addition to those practicum opportunities, we also have research opportunities. So I have from our website a description of what each faculty member does, and I have to pull that up because I'll forget something if I don't bring it up. So as I mentioned earlier, we have 5 faculty members here at Eastern Oregon University in our psychology program, and each of us has a different specialty, and that's so you can have a breadth of expertise to work with, but also all of us have different research interests, so you can have different research opportunities. So we have Dr. Heidi Blocker, and her specialty is social psychology. So she does research on things like social interactions, implicit biases, and emotions. We also have Dr. Timmerman, and her research interests are in things like neuroscience and brain imaging type research, especially EEG research. We also have Dr. Balaban, and her specialty is in cognitive development in children. She specifically does stuff on, this is why I have the website up, on theory of mind, right? And she does research into emotion as well. So, and then our newest hire, Dr. Johnson Ulrich, is an animal cognition specialist and does research with animals. So we all have various expertise, so you can have a lot of different opportunities. In addition to our 5 faculty members that are part of our core team of faculty members in the psych program, we also hire experts outside of the university to teach some courses for us, so you can have more of a breadth of opportunities to learn about specialties that the 5 of us may not have. So for example, we hire Dr. Powell, and she teaches courses in learning, which is a specific subdiscipline in psychology. So we have lots of different opportunities for you in our courses. So the last thing I wanted to talk to you about then is what can you do once you're done with your degree? Our graduates that leave Eastern with a psychology degree are prepared for a lot of different things. So we give you a lot of skills that will transfer to other fields. So a lot of people use a psychology degree to prepare for nursing school or medical school or going to law school or something along those lines. But for those who stay in the field, a lot of our graduates do go on to therapy programs, which again is a very common track for people to take. And they'll either go into social work programs where they get a master's in social work and become licensed clinical social workers and can do therapy with that degree, or they can go on and get a PhD in psychology or a PsyD in psychology and practice therapy more from the psychology clinical aspect. We also have students go on to get degrees in experimental fields where they're doing anything from business psychology to neuropsychology to child development to social psychologists to cognition specialists. There are a lot of different things you can do, and you'll have an advisor while you're here. One thing I love about Eastern is that the advising is done by the faculty members in the psych department, and we get to know our students so we can help you customize your education to fit exactly what you're doing, and we're here to help you through that entire process. Anyway, if you have any questions about the psychology degree, please feel free to contact me or any other member of our psychology program. We're all very happy to help, and everyone in the psychology program is very easy to work with, at least in my opinion. So I hope that gives you a good idea about what our program is like here at Eastern Oregon University, and I hope you all have a great day, and I look forward to hopefully seeing you in a future course. All right, talk to you later.
Great. Well, I just want to give a special thank you to Dr. Robert Butler for taking the time to pre-record that. I think it's so valuable to hear directly from our faculty members. And I can say specifically for our psychology program, and just to repeat what Dr. Butler suggested, is that they're so hands-on with students. They work directly with students and advising and career planning, and I think that's pretty spectacular. So that being said, I'd like to introduce another special guest of ours, Miss Kate Geckler, who is currently an online psychology student, to be able to share a little bit of information about her experience. Kate?
Hi, everybody. I'm Kate, and I'm, as Cody said, the psychology student at EOU. I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about my experience because it's been awesome. What I really like about it is there's a ton of one-on-one help. So when you come in and you first apply to EOU, you have somebody kind of holding your hand all the way. So it's not like, I'm alone and I'm trying to figure this out. It's like I have a person and that person's going to walk me through the process. And that's kind of the process as you go through it. So like with online registration, I actually don't register myself. My advisor and I create a degree plan, and that goes up to 2 or 3 terms in advance. And then my advisor's like, hey, do you want me to register for these classes? I'm like, yes. And then I'm registered. So it's kind of magic. I really like that element of it where I'm not kind of on a ship at sea by myself. Another thing I really like about it is the one-on-one contact with professors. So even though you're online, if you need some additional help, you can email and get help. I had like a labs methods class last term, and I could not figure out how to get the app to work on my computer. And so the professor actually set up a one-on-one Zoom with me and was like, here, let's do it together. And then you can know how to do it from here on. So just kind of having that ability to have like that small school setting is really helpful, especially if you're like me and you're like, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm getting back in the game of going to college and it's all kind of new and scary. And now I have help.